Let's start. Heavenly Father, we want to give you thanks for this day, and we thank you for the topic that we're about to discuss. We pray for your continued blessing and guidance, and that everything would be made clear, that it would be beneficial to us all. This is our prayer. In Jesus' name, amen. So, I am Dr. Natalie Nash, and I am talking to you from Pure Wellness Lifestyle Center, located all the way in Trinidad and Tobago. And I just want to say welcome to our session today, where we're looking at nervousness and anxiety and some diet and lifestyle strategies that do work. And I have a little bonus in there, some herbal agents, so you can make some teas that helps to calm the system down, as well as a dessert. You know, many times when we are nervous and we anxious, we want all the niceties. So you can even have that. But what is in the ingredients can be beneficial. So we will share that with you. Welcome, and this is a little snapshot of our center. We do have a session going on right now, and it is where we have our residential program. And we also have that going on. It started yesterday, and our guests, they are really excited about their presence here and all that is being done for them and with them. And then on Sunday coming, we also have some additional guests that's going to join us for our 7-day detox program. And so if you've not heard about that yet, you can simply go to our chat group and you will get it, because we'll post the reminder on it, or the flyer on it, and have that out circulating some more this week. So it's a little opportunity to be able to come, and it's more reasonable, I would say, but to take advantage of the detoxing that and detoxification program that's happening here at the center. So we will post it out in the chat group, and you would be able to see that. I'll share that again towards the end of the program. Now, our topic of discussion, we are looking at nervousness and anxiety, and we go straight into nervousness. So question to you, what do you think, or can anybody tell me what nervousness means to them? To be nervous or to be anxious? What does that mean to you? What could you say in a one word or two or a sentence about what that might be? You can unmute yourself and
Hey, Dr.
share.
Nash, tonight.
Hi, good.
Tonight, Casey, how you doing?
Hi, welcome.
Yes,
Wonderful.
I just saved up my money to come by you soon. So if you ain't seen me, because really strained, but I'm glad I get to add, I'm glad I get to join.
Uh-huh.
So I'll get some more information from you after. Yes,
Yeah.
to be nervous and anxious is to be in fear of tomorrow. Your
Mm-hmm.
fear of your health, your fear your children, your fear, you just don't know. So you always had that fear for me. You know,
Right.
you don't show how things will work out. You don't show, Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, that is the one and the yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And God has not given us a spirit of
Spirit
fear.
of fear,
Yes.
but
So
of power of love. But when they ask the question, based on the question, they answer to
yes.
suit. Although we have the answers to it, sometimes we have the answer, but does we apply it?
Yeah.
Is when the enemy like to bring it close to you, like yeah, and that's how they bring that time when you think like things when work out. That is just when you're going to come some phone call, how they say, pass this, you know. So
Yeah.
that is what it does be. Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much for your contribution, and
Well,
look forward to meeting you soon. Now, yeah, someone says in the chat, emotions out of control. Wow. And, anxiety tends to take a grip on us. And when you are anxious or you're nervous, your hand can be shaking. Your legs can be shaking. You can be breathing fast. Your brain may not work in a sequential order. Have you found yourself doing things, but not in sequence? You need to pick up some things and then go to the door and then head out of the house. But you go to the
Yes,
door and then you back and forth to pick up one thing, you go back and pick up another. It's because you're
yes,
so anxious to get out. Yeah, so we all encountered that at some point, in our lives and during the day. So Brother George is saying nervousness is a common emotional state characterized by feelings of anxiety, apprehension, or ease. Yeah. Similarly to what our sister was saying with fear, that fear factor. And the fear factor could be real or it could be imaginary, meaning that sometimes we are afraid of what hasn't even manifested itself. It's all in the mind, that we are thinking
true.
about something that maybe the person is going to react negatively. And I don't want that kind of response. And so it just grips us and we don't move and we don't go forward and we don't do anything. Sometimes being nervous or anxious could really cause us to shut down. Yeah, and you just don't know what to do. And the body's way of dealing with this is just to cave in and to shut down. So we're going to look at some ways in which we can cope this evening and see how that works. So as we talked about what it is, let's look at some symptoms. Depression. So as we look at these symptoms, you may have experienced this at some point. But at the same time, these are also conditions that we can be living with. And that is not good. Depression. So it just means that our state is continuous. There's no break at the end of the day. Anxiety, irritability. And when you interact with the people who are irritable, you're getting on their nerves and they're just lashing back at you and they're very antsy and bitey and then you can't hold a conversation, or you're saying one thing and they're thinking you're saying something else and it creates an argument. But then you have chronic fatigue, and this is where they cave in and they just want to sleep it off and feel so exhausted. So nervous exhaustion, unable to cope. Tightening of the stomach. So this is like a real pain and tightening in the chest. Digestive problems, where you're bloated, you have gas type situations. You just have discomfort in your stomach, abdominal region from your throat. You might feel a lump in your throat that doesn't go away. You might have a sense of fullness, and so you're not eating as you should. So all kinds of digestive problems, even constipation can show up. There's an increase in blood pressure, and this one can really hold us on a grip because you're checking your blood pressure, you're exercising, you are eating healthful foods, but at the same time, your blood pressure is continuously high and you're not getting that down. So we look at that as a state as well that needs to be addressed in order to have better blood pressure readings. Now, there's also teeth and tooth grinding, where you literally find yourself grinding your teeth and you're awake. It's daytime. It's not that you're asleep and this is happening. So you're grinding, and then trembling when you're not cold, so it's not a shiver, and tense muscles. Your muscles keep being tensing up. There's a lot of tension going on in your nervous system, in your body, in your muscles, and it just doesn't feel good. So what are some of the causes? Before I show that, anyone wants to shoot off, what could cause you to be nervous and anxious? What do you think? What can cause someone to be nervous and anxious? See, what are the causes? Mhm.
Yeah, good
There's,
night again.
hi, good
I put up,
evening.
I put up my hands, so I
Go
don't know if you're
ahead.
going my hands up.
Go
All right,
ahead.
but from my experience, it could be finance.
Mm-hmm.
Being the one to manage your children on your own and to be able to provide for them financially most of the times alone. So that to me can be a, a, a stressful situation when you as the individual being the main one providing and the other party have no time. Yeah, that's gonna be a
Right.
stressor. Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, and it's and almost every day, and especially when there is a demand, a deadline, or
Yeah.
even the ask,
Yeah.
come and ask you for this, and you're
Oh
immediately
Lord.
like,
I tell
like,
you, I
oh
have,
Lord.
I have to get this. I have to get that. This one that the school one at the piano class. This right. And you because their demand is so high, you don't even have time to see what you know.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So that is what it is most of the time. That's what it is.
Yeah. Okay, someone puts in the chat, lack of sleep. Excellent. So yeah, if you don't get that good rest, then the body hasn't rested and it could really amplify. Okay, so let's have a look at what we got here.
A new
Dead.
job,
Oh, sorry. There's another. Hi,
a
go
new
ahead.
job.
A new job. Yes.
Uh-huh.
Definitely. I remember some time ago, someone was sharing with me that she got a new job and felt the pressure to just get everything right. And that wasn't feeling too good. And even, the intensity of wanting to get everything right is stress in itself that could cause you to have poor performance. So yeah, you really need to calm down. Excellent. Good. Let's see someone else have something here. Traffic. Oh yeah, traffic experience. Now you're on the same page with me because I do not like traffic. All right, I don't like traffic at
Dr.
all. I
Nash is
hate
tragic. It's tragic experience.
oh,
Tragic.
tragic. Okay.
Yeah.
You see, I
Hmm.
need my slides. Tragic. Okay, yeah. That could be a shocker. Yeah, tragic experience. And then individual suffering from a chronic illness. For both the individual who's going through this pain, discomfort, the uncertainty, the severity of the illness, and the sort of bleaky, prognosis or outcomes or future. And then even the caregiver. We need to always remember our caregivers who are giving of themselves, and then their bodies could be really tight. Okay, so we have on the screen deadlines, pressures from all points, problems at home or at work, and your mind just keep going. Special occasions. So this is on another supposed to be happy note, but then you're anxious because the moment and the day is coming. Sometimes when I'm preparing for a segment here at the center, I could be anxious if it is I didn't prepare enough. And the day and the hour is coming. I know I could get anxious. So it's a good positive thing, but it can cause issues. Crowds. Some people really don't like crowds and they want to run away from it and do different. Noise. Noise could get you so nervous. Loud noise especially, that can get you. So even music, the kind of music that we listen to could really get our nerves either hyped up or calm down. And then pain, yep, traffic, temperature extremes, too hot, too cold, overwork, lack of sleep here, Smoking and alcohol drinking can contribute. A job interview, that's a nice one. A job interview can really have you nervous and sweaty and have your voice trembling. That's going to be quite embarrassing. But I think even in situations like that, people give allowance for your nervousness. Maybe some folks have to stand in front the church and sing a special song, or you have to give a speech in front of a large crowd. All of that can be a nervous situation for you. Well, I'll tell you what I do. I just look at the people and they see me looking at them, but I don't see their faces. I'm just like staring out in blank space in their direction, number one. And number two, I'm very much aware that everyone is here and they're quiet because they're listening to what I have to say. And then I just focus on what you have to say. You've got to deliver. So just say what you have to say and move on. You don't look at the crowd and let that phase you at all. Of course, it takes a lot of practice, so be brave and you'll soon get used to it. Preparing for an exam. And we're in that time of the year right now where you have finals, even finals before a graduation, dissertations, and all sorts of finals. And that can have you nervous. Will you complete? Will you be able to graduate? Will you be able to get your and maintain your GPA and your marks and to be able to pass this exam to move on to another level? Yep. So all of those are wonderful ideas and examples that affects everyone, even from the children through different phases of life. We can all have those anxious moments. Okay, so let's have a look at our brain for a little bit, because this is where it happens. It all happens in the mind. And then the brain requires, two substances for its basic function. We have oxygen and glucose. So just for brain to work, we're not even talking about thinking and memory and all of those things, but just for the brain to work, you need oxygen and you need glucose that it feeds on for energy. But there are other functions of the brain apart from just being a machine that's working. The brain can be utilized in so many ways, such as thinking, and you can recall, have good memory, and even your brain would tell you how to control yourself. And many other functions. The brain would also have these automatic functions for, like, I'm moving my hand now, but my brain is causing me to have these gestures. Your brain will cause you to move and to work. Like today we were doing some therapy session and we're with one of the guests and we're saying, okay, tell your brain will tell your foot to move. And it was real, so real, of the connection between the mind and the body. And so we are saying to the individual, tell your brain that foot, you have to move. Okay, so let that foot move. And once you develop that pathway, the foot is going to move. So it happens so naturally for us. But if we cease to do certain functions, then we have to retrain the mind. And you can see that even in rehabilitation exercises for individuals who have had a stroke, for example, that where the brain is very much involved. And exercises and repetition creates those pathways again, and you can get improved functionality. Now, there are the B group vitamins that are important when you think about a healthy brain and your nervous system. So when we look at B1, for example, we're looking at B1 to help us in preventing irritability and depression. How many of us can be irritable for no reason? Have you found yourself just on a particular day just irritable? Maybe you think it's the weather because it's gloomy outside and you're just irritable. sometimes that happens to me. And I just look forward to the day ending and going and sleep and wake up on the right side of the bed. You know what I mean? Or just taking a nap in the day and then waking up refreshed. Because sometimes the chemistry in our system may not be right. So B1 for irritability and depression. Where do we get? We need to eat some foods like sesame seeds, wheat germ, pine nut, Brazil nut, soybean and tofu can help, and pecans, oats, chickpeas, all of these can be helpful to get your B1. And then your B6 works for your preventing the nervousness that we're talking about now, and even fatigue, chronic fatigue or nervous fatigue. You know what is nervous fatigue? When your mind keeps going and your energies keep being taxed for whatever might be troublesome to you, and your body really gets tired, and you can find that you will just want to sleep. You will just want to sleep and not do it. Sometimes we have workloads ahead of us, and you just don't know where to start. And you know what we do? We shut down, and you just go and hibernate, and you just go and sleep. You know, in the Bible, there's an experience of Elijah. Elijah was a nervous wreck from the queen Jezebel when she said she's going to kill all the prophets, and he was a prophet, and he decided to run for his life. Now, how much could you run? You would be exhausted, right? It's a physical taxation on the body. So he was exhausted. He was hungry. He was tired because he had just, done some miracles and so on. And there was so much going on, and the tension of the days, that he was tired and he was beaten and he was like a nervous wreck. And Elijah just slept it off. And the angel had to wake him up and say, get up, come and eat. And gave him something to eat, and he drank, and he just went back and sleep. And he did that repeatedly, and until God said, okay, well, get up now, that's enough. But so you can see that's the nature of man, that we can have a situation going on, and it's not pleasant. And it's not something that you look forward to handling. And your body responds in this fatigue way. And you can go and sleep. So if you get in sleep, take it. It's going to be helpful. But where would we get B6 from? We have our bran again, wheat germ, garlic, sesame seeds, blackstrap molasses has a nice range of B vitamins. So if you get like blackstrap molasses, take a tablespoon or two every day, and that's going to help to improve your minerals intake, your iron levels, preventing anemia. Bananas is an excellent one, and chickpeas. So, when I was pregnant, I had a lot of bananas, so much that I said, oh, this child's going to jump up like a monkey. But he is like so calm. He is like the coolest, calmest person. You can come to him and be so anxious, and he'd be like, okay. And he'd just be calm and take charge of the situation. So he got a lot of bananas in his time. I want us to focus this evening on a key mineral. Or where can blackstrap molasses be found? In a health food store. Yeah, just simply ask for molasses, and it's when it's the more matured keen making molasses, right? So it's titled blackstrap molasses. So when we're dealing with nervousness and anxiety, there is a key nutrient that is vitally important to help with our brain activity, brain cell activity, or neuron activity. Does anyone know what that key nutrient is? What do you think? Does anyone know what that key nutrient is? And mineral, it's a mineral. Tang, 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 tang. What is it?
Sea moss.
Sea moss. Okay, so sea moss is a food. So what does sea moss contain is what I'm looking
Ooh,
for.
a mineral. Humic or fulvic mineral? No.
Magnesium.
Okay,
Omega
that's
3.
magnesium. Yeah, magnesium is what I'm looking for. Yes. Okay, so you were good with the examples. Nice. So magnesium. Do you know that we could be deficient in magnesium? And if we are, you could be anxious and nervous and not really feeling well, and all the symptoms of that, you know, the depression and everything that goes with it. So magnesium is a key nutrient that we need. So what is magnesium? It's an essential mineral, just like you have calcium, iron, manganese, potassium, phosphorus, they are minerals. And it has widespread effects on the body. So magnesium, and it is involved in about 80% of body functions, and it includes energy production from a cellular level. And that's why when you are low in your magnesium, you'll have the tiredness, the feeling of weakness. And even in a real way, we find magnesium is also vital in our brain health. It includes stress, anxiety, as we're talking about anxiety here. And by blocking stimulating neurotransmitters and binding instead to calcium, restful receptors in the brain, magnesium can help us to relax. It also has effect on the HPA axis, the body's main system that is responsible for managing and responding to our stress levels, our stressors, and by regulating our stress hormones, which is important, like cortisol. Magnesium acts like the brake, putting a pause on our nervous system so that we don't go into overdrive and keep going. You put magnesium, and it just calms you down and can help you face the next day. Magnesium, not only from a brain perspective, but understand it provides that energy to our cells. So on our muscle cells as well. Here at the center, we will have at times put individuals into a tub and put the Epsom salt in it that has magnesium in that water. And the water would be warm. And so their cells would be opened up, their pores would be opened up to receive the magnesium. And it just helps to calm everything down. In an aching muscle, it can help with calming and relaxing and easing the pain. So physically, we could have magnesium applied topically, as well as internally, we can have our sources, dietary sources of magnesium that really calms the system, but at the same time, giving you energy, a delightful energy, not an exhaustive energy, but one that will keep you going well. Magnesium is needed to activate those calming receptors like GABA in the brain, and it is needed to regulate the stress hormones like cortisol. So it really gets to your adrenal glands and cortisol, which gives us that fight or flight response. So note that magnesium, we can be deficient in it. And how can we? Yeah, can we bathe then in Epsom salt? Yes, you can. But if you shower, if you bathe in it and the water just runs off you, it may not be as effective as soaking in it. So getting the soak helps. Sometimes even for feet, you have tired feet, like you're busy going all day and your feet feels tired. Get a little basin and put some Epsom salt in there and calm your feet down. You can get plain Epsom salt. You can get Epsom salt that has fragrance with it, such as lavender, or you can put some lavender drops in that water. and then just soak your feet. And it feels so relaxing. When you're finished, just rub them nicely. You don't have to have no special skills in massage, you know. You just rub your feet and what you call effleurage, just rubbing them. And it helps. And your feet feel so good. You lay down in bed and you sleep. When you wake up the next morning, you will feel your feet brand new. And you want to keep them and they would be so happy for you. So how there are ways in which we could be deficient in magnesium from a dietary source. We're not getting magnesium in our diet. And so we have certain items that can rob magnesium from our diet. For example, phytic acid that is found in the fiber of our grains, our legumes, and so forth. Interestingly, the same item would give us our range of B vitamins and minerals, but you can have some anti-nutrients in there as well. If we're stressed, you tend to, if you have increased stress, what happens? It can cause your magnesium level to be low because you're more vulnerable to getting more stressed. And the more stress you have, the more cortisol is being produced that now could be in heightened amounts that can cause inflammatory states. And you find that our bladder, urine, you can actually urinate your magnesium out, and then you're deficient. So it's a cycle. The more stressed you are, the more anxious you are, the more you urinate, you pee the magnesium out, and then you're lowering it, and it just goes on and on. So we need to arrest the situation by changing our attitude, and I'll give you some lifestyle pointers and tips to help that, and getting it in our diet, getting some more magnesium in our diet. Again, some of the symptoms: anxiety, higher levels of stress. So you could be stressed, and you might have two people or more facing a similar type situation, but the way one responds is different from the way another. And so some people can have heightened or increased stress response, depression, insomnia, headache, and muscle pain, and tightness and fatigue are some of the associated factors with low magnesium. Magnesium played two important roles in the brain, as we mentioned before, whereas it connects to those calming properties in the brain, giving you more peaceful, restful state, and putting, causing to regulate the release of stress hormones that would help you to calm your system down. Now, the best foods for magnesium will be, before we go into that, I'll come back to that. Before we go into dietary, we would come to that, but you can also supplement with magnesium, and there are different types of magnesium. If you go to the counters, herbal counters, you would see different types of magnesium. So which one would you take? Magnesium citrate is quite common, but that's not the one that's really good for the brain. So let's see. You have magnesium glycinate, and we're looking at how well it is absorbed in the gut. You're also looking at, could the brain access it once you take the supplement? You're going to look for any additional benefit with regard to the particular type of magnesium and any potential benefit for brain and mental health. So when it comes to magnesium glycinate, I saw that at a health shop last week, and magnesium glycinate is one that will be absorbed well into your gut. So you take the supplement, your gut gets it. It will be accessible to your brain, which is where you want it to work, to help you to calm your system down and to have less anxiety and nervousness. The additional benefit is that it can improve your sleep quality. So are you lacking sleep, not sleeping well at night? It could very well be that you are magnesium deficient, but it's the magnesium glycinate that you need to get that can help you there. I've used that many years ago. My mom had some problems with sleeping. And she'd say, I see you guys, you all are sleeping in the nighttime, but not me. I'm up, I'm tossing and turning. She'll walk around, check the property, everything is okay, but she's not sleeping. And I got her a bottle of magnesium glycinate and 400 milligrams. And she just took that on evenings, like about 7 p.m. And soon her nervous system calmed down, especially a woman as you get into menopause state and beyond, we can be deficient in magnesium. So, but the glycinate form can help to improve the sleep. Now, there are potential benefits for the brain. Yes, it can help the brain and your mental health. You also have magnesium taurate. Again, similarly, it can be well absorbed by the gut, accessed by the brain. It tends to calm anti-inflammatory effects in the body. So if you have a lot of inflammation going on in the body, magnesium taurate can help. It also has potential benefits for mental states. Then we have magnesium threonate, and this chart is really helpful because I've got questions already. Which type of magnesium is good? Okay, so you can take a picture. I'll put this also in our WhatsApp chat so you can be able to see it. So magnesium threonate, and that's good absorbability, great for the brain. It's expensive. A low dose capsule is, you don't have to take as much in order to get the benefit. Then you have magnesium malate, again, similarly absorbed well by the gut and the brain, has potential for mental health and may help fibromyalgia or chronic fatigue. So if you have pains all over the body, magnesium malate can be helpful. What about magnesium oxide or citrate or carbonate? Doesn't absorb well in the gut or the brain. The additional benefit, it forms these forms of that we just mentioned there can cause loose stool or diarrhea. Or magnesium citrate. Citrate has, this potential to cause loose stool. Brain you up, and that might just free up your mind, but in terms of helping the brain, not too much. And then magnesium sulfate, used to help with muscle aches or in a cream or in the bath form. And this is what the Epsom salt has in it. So that one is not good if you have the anxiety, the nervousness from a mental perspective, but physically, it could be applied externally. So you can combine having the magnesium phosphate baths and then looking for something that's calming your inflammatory state or for your sleep and so forth, or any pain and fatigue issues that you may be experiencing. So magnesium taurate and magnesium glycinate are two of the better options that can help anyone with mental health conditions. Having the right kind of magnesium is super important in order to help our brain and our mind to function well. So you could be using magnesium, but if it's just a citrate type, that's not going to help you when it comes to mental states. Now, the dietary factor. What are some of the foods that we can have? So let's look at this pretty little chart. It talks about the leafy greens, such as your spinach, your kale, your lettuce, your watercress, collard greens, all your green leafy types of vegetables will have magnesium in it. So what will our plate look like? Let's start putting some more greens on that plate. We also want to see our legumes, your peas and your beans. We have black bean. We had that, in our meal this week. Then we had kidney beans as well, and edamame, which is a type of soybean. But look for those different beans, and they can help. to calm your system, your nervous system down. Therefore, you see, meat is a stimulant, and I'll tell you about that. Meat is a stimulant. Meat can get you anxious and nervous and excited in a negative way, whereas the beans are quite calming. Did you see that the plants are calming? I don't know if you ever saw a plant in a rage. Have anybody seen a plant rage as vexed and irritable and manifesting any obnoxious behavior? If you have, then tell me which plant is that. But the animals, they have certain behaviors and they pass that on to you, so they don't help. They're quite stimulating to the body. Coming to a question there just now. Okay, so then again from the plants we can get our nuts, and we saw seeds, sunflower seeds, your nuts, almond, cashew, Brazil, they are nuts. In this area where we are at, we have Brazilian nut trees, and you can walk up to a nut tree and get Brazilian nuts for free. That is real, and you can just go and pick and then you have Brazilian nuts. But whole grains, you're looking at buckwheat, quinoa, your brown rice, they have magnesium in there as well. So let's see. Oats is another item that we can consume that's really calming. Wheat germ, all your B vitamins in there, sunflower seeds, Brazil nuts, walnuts, cashew nuts, our greens, our lettuce, our green peas, avocado, passion fruit, apricot. All of those are foods that we need to have. So if you know yourself that you tend to be anxious and nervous, make sure that you're having a couple of these items in your diet every single day. And watch and see, it's going to help to benefit you. So every single day, have lettuce and your greens, your spinach, cook them, your spinach cook, and make sure you're having that. Every single day you're having sunflower seeds. You can have a bowl of oats, but also with your beans to go with that, because oats will be like super carbohydrates. Yeah, you get your magnesium, your B vitamins in there too, but you also want to throw in some fiber in that meal. So don't just have oatmeal every morning only. Have a cup of half cup of beans, at least half cup, to go along with that and get some fiber in there. Have your fruit, plural, your fruits, and you can get your nice fiber. Passion fruit, note, it's really passionate about life. So you can get some nice ease in your nervousness with the passion fruit. You need to eliminate. What does eliminate mean? To kick out, get rid of, put out of your diet the stimulating beverages, such as soda, that's high in sugar. And what will that do to your nervous system? Get them, if you were to see this under a microscope, literally like a crazy ants on fire, going. So caffeine tends to excite our nervous system. So wherever your caffeine might be, either in the cola drinks, in the chocolate, the cocoa, or the coffee, wherever you might find caffeine, even in some energy drinks, caffeine or energy supplements might have caffeine in it. Put that at arm's length and leave it alone. Alcoholic beverages, we want to leave that out. And you consume that, it tends to destroy the B vitamins within and makes us deficient in our B vitamins. White sugar does the same because it's like high glucose, and so that will cause us to have nervous states. If you have anxiety, you want to increase your wheat germ, that's great in the B vitamins range, your whole grains, banana. excellent for B6, magnesium, potassium, and nuts will provide fatty acids, good, and lecithin, your lecithin granules, you can have that as part of your meal, added to your food. And your nuts also gives you phosphorus. Sesame seed is an excellent source of lecithin, and sunflower seed, great for lecithin. You can also get lecithin in your soybean, tofu, edamame. So you see all the foods just, keep circulating right there. It really needs to be part of our diet. The legumes, excellent for our B vitamins. If you are anxious, just like being nervous, stimulating beverages, let's leave them alone. And all the sodas, sweet drinks, if you think soda is only cup soda, you're talking about your sweet drinks and even your sweet juices, because they're loaded with sugar. And your meat, as I mentioned, they can be addictive and can cause you to be anxious, and your alcohol tend to break down the nervous system. Have you ever seen someone who's alcoholic and their hands are shaking? Or people who drink tea and like black tea and all of those caffeinated teas, and their hands are trembling and shaking, and you do that enough, you'd soon get there. You will soon get there beyond a shadow of a doubt, and you could be the most wealthy person to afford the most of anything. And you're a tea drinker, you're gonna have the shakes coming to you. And let's eliminate that from our system. So what are some lifestyle suggestions that we can incorporate in ourselves? You want to address the underlying cause. Why are you anxious and why are you nervous? Is it the exam? Well, you'd soon get over the exam. Is it the interview? Go in there brave and get it done and over with. But why are you anxious? And sometimes it's a more long-term situation. It might mean that you have to change your attitude to life and to that situation. Think positively. Look on the bright side of things because you choose to. It may seem so negative and bleaky and gloomy, and you want to cry all the time and feel sad. But look on the positive side of things by your choice and be able to get out into the sunshiny clouds, bright, and face life better. Think about something else. Sometimes you have troubles and you're only thinking about one way, the negative bits of it, or what you don't like or whatever. Get off it and don't think about it. Think about something else. Move on, say, gonna talk that on the side and not worry about it, and shift your mind. Have counsel with a good confidential friend, who cares about you and who's there for you 100%. Think about, have sessions with that person. Then you may just need to get away and calm down. Get away. And sometimes it might be difficult to do because you know what you need, but those around you in your circle may not see it. So where are you going to? Well, how could we reach you? I'm sorry, I'm on timeout for me because I need to survive. If you were to expire and be out of the circle of life, everybody else is going to get on well without you. All right, so you need to survive, and sometimes getting away from the situation can be helpful, and you get a break from it, and it helps you to calm down or even have some thought about what you're going to do when you get back. And that can help you to cope better. Avoid situations which can bring tension on. There are more. Learn to laugh. Learn to cry. Many of us who play Mr. Tuffy and Miss Tuffa, you don't want to cry, but sometimes crying, it's like letting it out and breaking what's within and freeing yourself. Then stretch your muscles. Your muscles could be so cramped and tense. So stretch your muscles, as we mentioned, take an Epsom salt soak. Take a relaxing hot bath. Have you ever gone into the shower and the water is so hot and nice that you just want to stay there and don't move? Well, don't move. Stay there as long as you need to. And just let it fall on you, warm you up, and embrace you, because that's what you're looking at and feeling. And that's what you need. And then there are times when you need to take a walk outdoors in the fresh, open air. And I was walking outdoors this week and on the weekend, and just a feeling of joy and happiness. It was actually on Sabbath. And I was literally just walking with my arms stretched out, my little purse dangling to the end of one arm, and I was stretched out, just walking freely in the breeze. And there is where you want to say, like the psalmist, if you had wings as a dove, you would fly and fly high, and you want to fly away from your situations. It's okay. That's us human. Let's take our wings with the Lord, and to help us even through all our challenges that might seem so insurmountable. Then deep breathing is hugely important. Take those deep breaths and get extra rest. Sometimes just taking a nap in the day or getting some more rest on the weekend, locking that door and shutting everything out, and you sleep. And then asking for God's forgiveness, because whatever might be worrying you could be that you don't feel right, about things, and you need to ask someone else for their forgiveness, but also God for forgiveness. And He will free you. And if He frees you, you're going to be free indeed, and free even from your anxiety and nervousness. So those are the dietary factors, what we should have and what we need to eliminate, and what our lifestyle can be. Lifestyle can make a difference, and different strategies for coping. But here I want to also share with you what we can do from a chemical perspective in terms of ingesting certain things. So we talked about the supplements. Get what? Magnesium glycinate, magnesium taurate, and that can help you from a mental state. It really helps. And then there are certain items that you should get that can help your brain to be stronger, your neurons, your brain cells to be stronger, and therefore can help you to be able to face situations and be less nervous and be less anxious. Let's see. So ginkgo biloba, and before I forget, I just want to add one more in here, and that will be ashwagandha. Did I not put? Yes, HWAGANDHA. Yeah. So ginkgo biloba, echinacea, gotu-kola, bilberry, and you get the bottle. I have bilberry here. You get the bottle and you use it as directed. The bilberry, this says 1 capsule 3 times a day. I remember maybe like once a day, but if you need it, it's 3 times a day, and put it out. That's one way to help you remember. Put it out by your dining table, your kitchen table, and you're going to see it. Oh, what is this? I need to take it. Yeah, and you take it. Milk thistle, that's going to help cleanse the liver, and as well as, clean up your system, get your blood moving nicely. Catnip, catnip is really calm and it gives your nervous system a rest. Chamomile. Chamomile is excellent. You find that throughout all ages, chamomile can be used. Even infants can utilize chamomile tea. Chamomile is like a cure-all. It's great for everything. And chamomile is also calming. Even if you have eczemas, inflammation on your skin, chamomile can help to calm things down. Now, skull cap. Skull cap is excellent. Skull cap can help you to sleep and calm your nervous system down. It's for the skull, okay? And what's inside of the skull? So skull cap will be great. Use the dosage and intake as directed on the bottle. Valerian is also one. Valerian has a strong odor, strong smell, but you may be able to still get the benefit, of course, even though it doesn't smell too nice. Some people says that it smells like a stinky socks, but there are other more pleasant herbs. Oat straw is another one that's quite relaxing, and lemon balm. It's a nice, you can make lemon balm tea if you get lavender. The other day I had some folks here at the center and they told me that they had some problem sleeping, and I combined lemon balm with lavender, and passion flower, and made a nice tea, just like 1 teaspoon. I mixed it all up and then scooped out a teaspoon for them per cup, drew that and had them drink like 3 cups in the daytime. So not just only in the night, during the day they were drinking it, just calming their system down, So by nightfall, they were sleeping and really got the benefit. So sometimes if you took it early in the evening and into the night, you didn't get what you're looking for, take it in the day, and that can help to calm you. So by nightfall, you can get better rest. And ashwagandha. Ashwagandha is really helpful. Ashwagandha calms you down. I remember some time ago, I shared ashwagandha with a colleague who had a lot of stress going on and at the workplace. And so she would be one that likes everything prim and proper. So if that didn't happen, she was stressed about it. And I said, look, take some ashwagandha. And she was like, well, the things that used to really annoy me do not anymore, because she was all calmed down and she was like, okay. So ashwagandha you can have. You can get it in capsule form, 2 capsules, morning and evening, or a little teaspoon, mix it in some water, mix it in some almond milk. I like to make it in the almond milk and say medicine tastes good, and drink it, and it's still going to work. And licorice is another one that can really calm you down. Licorice could put you to sleep. I tried that some time ago using ashwagandha. I said, oh, I have licorice too. Let me do a licorice. And I was sleeping. I want to know, why am I so sleeping? Licorice. But if you have high blood pressure, don't do the licorice. Just work with the ashwagandha. So for all of these items, you can make a tea. If you can also combine, you can do a tea with a single item, or combine 2 or 3 together and make a tea. What are you going to do? You combine it together, and then you take 1 teaspoon per cup. And what is a cup? 8 ounces of hot water. And you just throw that on and let it draw, and you'll be able to drink it. Drink 1 to 3 cups daily, depending on your need. Okay, so we have a scripture for the week, and it says, then they cried unto the Lord in their trouble, and he bringeth them out of their distress. Psalm 107, verse 28. If today you have some distress, something that's driving you nervous or anxious, then put it to the Lord. Go before him. Have you ever gone before God and literally cried, asking him to help you in your situation? And he will hear you. He has ears and he hears, and he's not short in hearing. And he will deliver you out of your trouble, out of your distress, when you take it to him. He loves for us to ask him to do things for us. And our recipe for the week, are you excited? Here is a really nice, tasty recipe. So when you're stressed, some people just like to drink good, they just don't want to eat. And that's okay. Your body is dealing with something, but for a while, don't stay in that state forever. And you can make this nice item that would be quite beneficial. It's a strawberry nice cream. So if you thought being healthy, you couldn't eat ice cream, you can make your own strawberry nice cream. What do we have? 2 bananas, 2 nice wholesome bananas. You chop it up and to go into the food processor we're using so that you get it more chunky and not blended down. And then 1 cup of strawberries, and you have like oat milk. But you take 3 tablespoons, a little bit of oat milk, because you really want the texture to be thick. You don't want it runny. So you put a little bit of oat milk in there, 3 tablespoons, that's almost like an ounce of oat milk. And you put it in a food processor and you just watch it, let it churn, let it churn, let it churn. And if you think you need a little bit more milk, you can just drop a little bit more in there and get it to loosen up a little bit. But it can look so good and taste so good. It has natural sweetness. Absolutely no need to add any sweetener to this. And what will banana do? It's great in the B6 and excellent for our magnesium and excellent for the brain. All right, so you have your brain and to calm your anxiety, to calm your nervousness. So I would encourage you to do this lovely strawberry nice cream and have yourself a treat. And you can do this every day and, enjoy life. So that brings us to the end of our presentation. And we want to have a word of prayer, and then we'll look at our questions. Heavenly Father, we give you thanks for this session this evening and our discussion. We pray that we can utilize these tools and that it can be beneficial to us and someone else whom we would share the knowledge with. This is our prayer in Jesus' name. Amen. So our first question in the chat, what happens when you have right leg cramp? So what could be causing your right leg to be cramping? Many things. Sometimes is your sciatic nerve. And if it is that, then you would need to work on reducing inflammation. Increasing vitamin D, for example, can cause a lot of inflammation in the body and cause sciatica nerve situation. Then you need to be examined to see whether you have any nerve compression taking place due to a spinal, a disc bulge, a nerve that, it just gets trapped somewhere in your spinal column and squeezed by a vertebrae, whatever that might be. So have a medical examination to look at that. What can be the cause? Again, let's find a root cause and address it. Poor blood circulation can also cause this. Wearing anything tight around the legs, even an underwear, or tight tights undergarment. So that we need to watch. Then if we're not moving the body enough, if we are misaligned, we had someone here at the center today that was helping some of our guests to be realigned. So if you're not lined up properly, then you find that they are leaning on one side and you can have problems. So it requires some investigation. Okay, so do we have any questions? You can place them in the chat or simply raise your hand and ask a question. Going once, going twice. Yeah, do I hear a voice? Anyone? If not,
Yes, I have a question.
go ahead.
Okay, so what happened when when you do your labs and it showed that your magnesium level is normal, but yet you're having symptoms of a deficiency?
Well, then it could be another mineral. So you see, when it comes to the minerals, it's not only magnesium. So if you did a lab work, which is really good, to do the test and see where you're at, if it's within normal range, good. I'll say still maintain from a food standpoint, all that we shared examples of here to get that magnesium in, but also look at minerals. So you might need a multi-mineral supplement. So you have like multivitamin, you also have multi-mineral supplements, and that might be one of your issues. Sometimes from a mineral standpoint, a lot of individuals do not use salt in their cooking because they may have high blood pressure, they might be retaining fluids, yes. But so you don't use salt. So you can do low salt instead of no salt. And if you did a low salt, you're still gonna, and a good quality of salt, such as the Celtic or sea salt or the pink Himalayan sea salt, with iodine, you're going to get lots of minerals coming in there that would be adequate amounts for the body. So we don't need large amounts of minerals unless you are deficient. If you're deficient, then you need to have a greater intake. And if you're manifesting some of the symptoms here of nervousness and anxiety, as we discussed, definitely look at the minerals, but there are also the B vitamins, a range of B vitamins that you can need to access. Okay. Question. I think I see something in the chat. I was found a long time ago. Oh, okay, sharing some more. And on the right buttocks, and that is the cause of the right leg cramp. Yeah. So you would need to have you gone to a chiropractor to see if they can help you there. So there's a structural impact, and that's causing your problem. Okay. All right, anyone else? We just showing you for those who are able to join us out on the weekend coming, there's a 7 channels of elimination for some of our later joiners for 1 week, and you can come here and be able to experience the blessings of center life and what it can do for you. Also included in here is health consultation. So it's not just items that are shared with you to intake or to apply topically, but also to address your entire situation, looking at you holistically and giving you a plan to go forward with. All right, I see some activity on the microphone. Someone wants to share? Okay, I'm just muting. Wonderful. So thank you everyone for your participation and your attendance. And I want to wish you a blessed and exciting week. Not anxious week, but exciting week.
Same to you. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.